Hello everyone, it's Rena. I'm the Slow Knitter from Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a while since I did a regular podcast. This is episode 27. I haven't quite figured out the name of the episode yet. It might be ShawlsHank Redemption or Get a Shawl Off the Needles Woman. I don't know. But you can see I'm just trying all the shawls I can try. Now, if I can complete one, that would be even better. Hey, welcome back to all of my subscribers and anybody who's new that's visiting me for the first time. Welcome. I hope you enjoy this podcast. If you enjoy it, please hit the subscribe button below and subscribe away. And then you can see me whenever you want to see me. And if you ring the bell, push the little bell, they'll let you know when I'm podcasting, so you don't have to just check me out all the time. The link is in my profile on Instagram, and I will put below this video where you can find me on Instagram, on all of the interwebs. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, although I don't tweet very much. No, I'm not afraid of Facebook. Everybody has data breach. What are you going to do? Everybody has all my information anyway. Whew. Crazy. I know some people who have actually dropped out of Facebook. I wouldn't do that. I am suspicious of what I'm filling out. No more surveys, or I feel like it's too late anyway because they probably have the information anyway. Anyway, hello. So a lot of this episode, we're going to catch up with each other. I'm going to tell you who won a giveaway. I have announcements for other giveaways, which I'll probably post on Instagram, or I'll do a little Insta story. I love those Insta story things. Anyway, so here it is April 3rd. This will probably go live tomorrow because I will edit, and then I need time to get on my virtual knit night in a little while, so I won't be editing. Anyway, so let's get started. Let me tell you all the things, well, some of the things I'm doing. Most of it has to do with shawls. The fact that I can't seem to get a shawl off the needles because of this that I'm wearing right now. I wasn't totally monogamous on it, but I was somewhat monogamous on my Caitlin Hunter cowl, which I love. I folded it. I did it too long, I think. So the whole thing looks like this. Glacier Park cowl. My first serious stranded color work. I tuck it in because I think I have a short neck. If I had a longer neck, I would. And then if it hangs over, you can see behind it. I don't know. I mean, my inside is pretty good, right? I mean, I did a pretty good job. I took a class up at the Whole Nine Yarns up in Woodstock, Georgia. I had done like a couple of little hats of some stranded work, and that was fine. But this class was great. And I went once, and then I went away. So I did a lot of the work. I was not totally monogamous, but I would constantly work on it. And it took me 3 months, maybe shorter. That's pretty good for me. But I loved it. I loved everything about the yarn I used. Spun right round is this lighter color blue, and then the darker is Malabrigo Sock. And I think the colorway is called Côte d'Azur, which is really a beautiful dark navy. And she writes a beautifully written pattern. It was charted. I was able to follow it. I use Knit Companion on my iPad for my patterns, and you can actually pull the line down on the chart for each line. It was so much better than I thought it would be, but I'm so happy to have this off the needle, seriously. But it blocked beautifully. The yarn is gorgeous. I just have to figure out how I can show this top part without it like flopping down, but I guess like that. right? Yeah, like that. Anyway, I love it. It's a little too warm in Atlanta today to wear it. Although, I read the weather report. So today's in the mid-70s. Here in Atlanta, it's partly cloudy, partly sunny. And tomorrow, I think the high's gonna be 50. Okay. Whatever. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. Anyway, let me tell you what's going on. Lots and lots and lots and lots of things are going on. First, my interviews with the IVKN moderators, Eleni and Phil, went great. They were so fun. I think they got good response. A lot of people wanted to check it out, which was really the purpose of it anyway. The next interview I did was with Bryony Marshall, who wrote a book called Unraveled, and so I will be picking the winners for, there were going to be 3 winners. One each will get the book, and then one gets a big package thing that I talked about on my podcast. So I think that will be great. I know they're sending me some books so I can get them out to all of you. Yay! Yay! I had fun with that one as well. In the meantime, though, I've been just casting on all these shawls. And the reason I had a few that were unfinished that needed to get finished. That sort of languished. My fault. My bad. Because I was into, you know me. I cast on everything. That's why I'm so slow. Because I can't seem to, it's like, finish a shawl, woman. So, I cast on another shawl. I cast on 2 other shawls. I was down at the beach during the month of February, and a couple of the places, it was still a little cool. It was cool down there too, and so there were a couple places where I thought, why don't I bring a couple of shawls down here? I could have used it just to throw over my shoulders. So I thought, oh well, I must cast on like a summery shawl. Why? Okay, don't ask. Anyway, so I cast on another shawl. Then I saw this beautiful yarn, I'll show it to you in a minute, from Quince & Co. in one of their fingering weights, which is part 75% American wool and 25% silk. And it's their turn base. And it was a wisteria color, which, if you know what wisteria, the flower is, it's like a purple bluish, beautiful. And the yarn just captured it like perfectly. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna buy some. I'm gonna buy 3 skeins because maybe I'll make a vest, or maybe I'll make, and it was very limited. So because you say limited to me, I'm like, I gotta get it right away. So I got it. And you know, what was I gonna do with it? I didn't know. I started Dotted Rays. Stephen West. It's my first Stephen West shawl. So I said to my group, I said, I'm starting a Stephen West shawl. What do you think the easiest Stephen West shawl to start for a newbie Stephen West knitter would be? And without hesitation, like 3 of them said, Dotted Rays. That's the one I'm working on, Dotted Rays. So let's show you that right now. Hold on. Oh, here it is. Okay. Now, I'm nowhere near, I have no idea, I'm far away. But look at this color. This color is like unbelievable. I don't know what I want to do with this color. I love it. Plus I love the pattern. And I was watching some of my friends do Dotted Rays, and they do, you can see that there are different wedges by the short rows. And a lot of them will do alternate colors in each wedge. And I thought, no, I just want one color Dotted Ray, until, in rooting around in my stash, I found I had Other Turn that from Quince & Co. Years ago. I bought it. I don't even think they have this, they use this name for this colorway anymore. But it's this sort of goldenrod color, and I thought up against this. And then I was reading Stephen's pattern, and he said an alternative way to stripe is to do it during the rows where you have the yarn overs. So that's what I did. So I may do it every row, or not every wedge, or not every wedge. But I kind of want to see how it works out. but this is a joy to knit. First of all, I didn't think I would like short rows, but I kind of do. Now, the reason why these stitch markers are here is to tell me when to turn. I'm not really adept at short rows so far, so I need place markers to tell me where they are. Even though you can see where they are, I need place markers to tell me where they are. I'll eventually won't need them, but this is my first real like constant short row project, so I will need them. But when I was part of Knit Stars 1, Stephen West was an instructor, and he told us how he does his short rows, which is just go to it and then turn and go back. Go to it, go and turn and go back. No wraps, nothing. So I thought, okay, well that's for me. I'll try that, but let me just, and then he actually demonstrated you could put a little stitch marker if you're not sure where it is you have to turn. I thought, okay, well that's what I'm gonna do. And I do it every time, and I love it. It's a fun knit, and I forgot how wonderful Quince & Co. yarn is to work with. I haven't worked with it in a very long time. I worked with it a lot in the beginning of my knitting journey, 7 years ago, 8 years ago. My knitting journey, my new knitting journey. I'm having much more fun on this time, but this is really fun. I love the color, and I think on the pattern page in Ravelry, one of the dotted rays pattern, he has the small size in just like a sort of a bright, like electric green. I thought, okay, this could be a one color that, and or not, but the yarn is really magnificent. You know, the combination of wool and silk. How can you go wrong? You cannot go wrong. But I have 2 more skeins, so depending on where I am in the process, I might go big or small. Depends on where it is. There's Quince & Co.'s label. I know most of you have seen that. So, and then information about turn. And each of these skeins is 221 yards. So it's not huge, but that's why I got 3 of them. And we'll see where I go. This much, I've got this much left. I don't know. I love it. I do. I cannot look at this right now because I will just knit. All right, so that's one shawl. Almost, you know, I'm gonna finish it, maybe. Now I did put myself to the test because you know how much I love Helen Stewart. I seriously knit 2 of her hats, 3 of her hats for Christmas this year. 3 of them. So, and I tried to do the mystery knit along last year for that big, the name escapes me, that big one that she did. And I was new to Helen Stewart. I was new to all of the techniques that she uses. I was new to her way of writing out patterns. I was just, so that never really got off the ground. Although I really admired all of you who did it. It was like so gorgeous, except it was huge. Since then, I've learned how to manage my issues, tendonitis issues. But I did jump on the Impressionist bandwagon, Impressionist mystery knit along. I will not show you where I am. I'm on my 20 rows from finishing clue 1. I will be finishing clue 1. But those of you who don't know what that is, she's holding a mystery knit along, and it's based on Impressionist paintings, colors in Impressionist paintings. A lot of people pick out their inspiration painting, and then they pick wool to match that. It's written in her usual way. The thing that got me is it's crescent shape, and I do really well with crescent shape, but wasn't the other one crescent shape? No matter, I think I can handle it. The fact that I'm almost finished with clue 1 in time is in and of itself great. I'm not going to show you where I am because that would be giving away something, but I will show you my yarns. which a lot of people are showing their yarns, and that's okay, show your yarns, but don't show anything else. So no spoilers here, it's just yarn, just colors of yarn that I'm using for the Helen Stewart Mystery, Impressionist Mystery Knit Along. So, I don't want to, wait, I'm caught. I'm tangled. Okay. All right. Here you go. And I'll tell you who they are. Okay. See? This is the middle. That's why I have to hold it like this. Okay. Pretty? Yeah. So my inspiration is Monet and Degas. Both very famous Impressionist painters. The Impressionist movement was started in the late 1800s in France, in Paris, and went through the 20s, I think. People are still painting in that style today, so it's not like it's gone. In fact, what I've seen is a lot of people are using sort of modern day Impressionist looks for their colors, which is really interesting. But these three are what I'm using. I'm basing it on, that's all I'm showing you on this. I'm basing it on, I'll tell you what I'm basing it on. When we were in Paris several years ago, we went to Giverny, which is where Monet painted and lived. And a lot of the garden work that he painted was from his garden in Giverny. So that was the first thing that popped in my head, was I've got to find the painting, I've got to find something that reminds me of that. Then I saw this pink, and I immediately thought of Degas and his ballerinas, and all the pink tutus and all the wonderful uses of that color in a lot of his art. And I thought, okay, so it's a smash up, a blend up of Monet and Degas, but Monet uses a lot of the same paint in his garden painting. This, by the way, is called Beach House, and it's by Knit Styles. The Stitch Mistress on Ravelry is also the dyer behind the yarn Knit Styles. And so this is, as soon as I've been holding this for another project, but as soon as I saw my inspiration, I thought, no, I've got to use that. Then I had another choice of color for the second color, but when I did a little swatch, it was too similar to this pink. So I looked at the painting, I looked at the painting, then I looked at my stash, and then this jumped out. This is a really wonderful combination of very light greens and very pale blues. And it's a skein of yarn I picked up from a shop in Franklin, North Carolina, called Silver Threads and Golden Needles. One of the owners is a dyer. And this is just, when I saw it, I thought, I don't know, I don't have anything in mind right now for it, but it's gonna be pretty beautiful when I do. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. So I thought, okay, then I thought, oh. And then, as I told you, my friend Teresa works for a company headquartered in Paris. And so when she gets over there, she tries to go to La Bien Amie. And when she went once last year, I forget when, she picked up a couple of skeins of Le Littoral. And I just couldn't. And that's my dark color. That's my third color, because you go light, medium, dark in the pattern. Actually, you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Seriously. I saw some versions, and on the Curious Handmade group chat, and somebody said, well, I want to go dark to light. And then the moderator goes, well, you do whatever you want to do. But I really like this combination. And these two are knit up in Clue 1, skeins 1 and 2. And again, I'm not going to show you, but they're really coming together nice. They really are. It's a very subtle, muted blend. And it looks like it's being faded into one another. And then at the end of clue 1, you introduce yarn 3. I have no idea what clue 2 is. The fact that I'm keeping up with clue 1, I'm so happy about that. So without the reveal of what it looks like, hidden in my friend's supply bag, which many of you know I have de-blinged. It was getting like, it was like flipping this down. It was so heavy. So I just did one, my favorite one from Rochelle at Home Row Fibers. She's the one that does the posters and manifesto. It's crazy for her work. Okay, that's it. I don't want to show any more shawls. I'm sort of a little embarrassed. I will tell you, I got a whole bunch of goodies. Goodies are good. So we'll go to the goodies section. There's the cute little shop opened in Atlanta. It's sort of, it's not that far from me, maybe 10 miles. And it's in a very sort of hip, urbanish area near our Beltline, which is sort of reclaimed railroad tracks that are made into paths, walking paths, biking paths. And the shop is called The Craftivist, and it's pretty spectacular. I'm so glad she's there, and she's next to a really dangerous coffee donut shop. Don't say it. But it's a really cute shop. Shout out to them, carrying really great yarns. And I got a yarn there. My friend Teresa and I were going to make the Ricky hat, R-I-K-K-E. And it was an ombre yarn. I don't know where it is. I like the yarn a lot. It wasn't the yarn, it was the knitter. I was doing so many hats. I was really into knitting hats, and it didn't have my full attention. So I screwed up in a couple places. I thought, well, I could just, you know, block that out. Well, there was too many screw-ups. But I did also get another yarn, another Freya yarn, which is a striped, not an ombre, but a striped one. And I've really been attracted to these rosy, pinky colors here. And if you do a shawl in this, and this is about, it's called a shawl ball. Freya hand-painted yarns, 100% cruelty-free merino. The dyers might know what that means. It's flux is the base, and it's the colorway is blossom. 430 yards, 100 grams, and you can see it's sort of self stripes. So I was looking at Ravelry, and there was a person that did dotted rays with this, and they pulled the yarn from the center rather than from the outside. So I may consider doing that, another dotted rays in this, or something like that, one of his smaller projects, because I'm sort of fangirling Stephen West's stuff now that I get it, except I'm going to have to practice the whole brioche, which then now leads us into some other things. So I'm going to get some more things to show you, and I will be right back. Okay, I wanted to also, I was trying to organize, which doesn't always work. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work, but this time it worked a little bit better. But I found some older projects that I had in the needles, and some of them I just frogged. One I was like really close to frogging, and then I thought, let me just put it aside for a minute, maybe I won't frog it. This, I can't seem to frog it. I'm gonna have to figure out a way to make it more what's the word I'm looking for? User-friendly for me, okay? This is Debbie Reese of one of the sisters from Amy and Debbie of the something sisters, periscoping sisters. So she had a beautiful pattern that she put out last year. It was called A Mother's Heart. I think it was around Mother's Day, right before Mother's Day. I thought, oh, I have the perfect yarn for that. And I did. I have, this is Lauren from Old Rusted Chair, her yarn, and it's a kind of magic, I think it's called. I love it. That's what's stopping me from frogging this project, because I love the yarn. The pattern was released as a Mr. Knit Along, and clues are coming out. I have the whole pattern now because that was last year. And I got tripped up a couple times. It's not going to ruin it, because it's one of those, like, there are different sections of stitches, and so you can basically do whatever you want if you want to keep with the pattern. So I really have enjoyed the knit, and I particularly like this section, which is a big yarn over section, and eyelet section, I really love it. Then they got into like different sections, like garter ridges, and I think I'm just going to continue the eyelet because I just love the eyelet. I think it would be a perfect kind of summery shawl to put over a sundress. I'm just going to go to the end of the skein with that, and maybe put some garter ridges. And I think I'm going to modify the design a little bit to suit me. But it's really a beautiful pattern and a beautiful yarn. And I think blocked out, it will really look pretty special. So what was going to be frogged is no longer going to be frogged. Just because I kind of like it. It's one of those things where you put it away and you go, no, maybe, no. So I am going to revive it, but it's going to be one of those lower priorities since I have other shawls. I started the Pebble Beach shawl by Helen Stewart because I thought that would be the good wrap. It's still a baby shawl, and I'm not gonna really give it a lot of love right now. I will. I love the pattern. The pattern is fabulous. It's gonna be, I'm gonna do small size. It's gonna be easy breezy, but I'm really gonna concentrate on getting through the Mystery Knit Along and the dotted rays. So my friend Teresa, who I've talked about and I showed you a picture of, if you follow me on Instagram, I'm gonna have lunch with her tomorrow, and we're bringing everything we're working on. We have decided, we have formed a pact. We have formed our own little pact. And the pact is not to start anything new until we have 2 projects off the needles. That is not easy for me, but I think she's right. She's absolutely right. And I said, well, my Mystery Knit Along can't count because I've got to do that, but that's not going to count. I've got to do something that has to come off the needles. So the project that I am going to be working on, and I think we're doing it through the end of May. Yes, we're giving ourselves 2 months to finish a shawl. She's working on a Hohe shawl and another lacy shawl. I forget the name of it. I am going to be working on dotted rays for our pact. Dotted rays and a pair of socks that I'm working on. And I'll get them right now so I can show them to you because they're so beautiful. Okay, let me show you my socks. So the pact that Teresa and I have is going to be around finishing dotted rays and finishing these socks, which is just a vanilla sock. It's not fancy, but the yarn is pretty spectacular. The yarn is from Yarn Inc. In Canada, and I do my socks, for those of you who don't know. I'm really tangled right now. Tandem. So I have one sock on one needle, another sock on another needle. But I got this as part of the kit last year, like a bag, and so pretty. Look at that. Oh, that's a Knitty by Nature little. But look at it just makes me happy. It's just so springy. So, you know, it's vanilla sock, and it just goes round and round, and pretty simple. But I'm committed to finishing these socks and dotted rays as part of the Teresa Rena Pact to finish 2 projects within 2 months. Wish me luck. Again, I don't know why I started this cuff down. I usually do my socks toe up, but I decided I want to do that German short roll heel again. And I really liked how it fit better than the afterthought heel. Although I love doing the afterthought heel, and I will continue to do that. But for some reason, the German short roll heel fits me better. So I'm going to continue to do that. I am a tangled mess here. I will have to figure that out later. Not now. Yeah, I grabbed the Helen Stewart little baby shawl. This is the Pebble Beach pattern. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. A lot of eyelets. You know, Helen and her lace. And I'm actually doing also, I seem to be, have a thing lately from Malabrigo sock in this sort of rich blue color. Isn't that gorgeous? And this is Wales Road. It's got light blue and dark blue. I thought it'd be so perfect over like a sundress, because, you know, I wear these lighter colors, so something dark and but summery, like in summery. I can't work on this right now. It's not part of my pact, and I have to do the mystery knit along. Okay, so what is that? So that's dotted rays, mystery knit along. This one, Pebble Beach. I'm gonna finish the Mother's Heart for ShawlsHank Redemption. So what does that really mean? ShawlsHank Redemption, the movie, which is a great movie. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. ShawlsHank is the name, is a prison movie, basically. ShawlsHank is the name of the prison. So there's no reference to that. Redemption, ShawlsHank Redemption. One of the prisoners is, I think he escapes, for those of you who know better, and restarts his life, or something. It's about his life in prison and all that. So redemption, what does redemption mean? So I looked it up. Sort of coming out of something, being sort of, you've got redemption when you achieve something. So I thought ShawlsHank Redemption. So I'm calling my prison, my shawl prison, ShawlsHank, which is the prison name, because I'm in shawl prison. And I will soon be redeemed, redemption, because I will complete something. How's that? Okay, we'll think about that. Or finish a freaking shawl, woman. Oh, it's another one. Now, this is because, again, I was part of Knit Stars 2, and Andrea Mowry gave a great class on, and she did one of her shawls. This is called Free Your Fade, not Find Your Fade, Free Your Fade. I started with a hedgehog, I think it was a single, and it was in its typewriter, which I love that, the subtleness of that color. Again, slow knitters always learning, always going to school. Learning about the twist of yarn. I don't do well with yarns that don't have have any or very lean amount of twist. Singles, I don't do well with them. They're always snagging. I don't find, me personally, they work with the way I do lace, because I have sort of a loose gauge. So they seem to, it doesn't work. So I was far down on the shawl. I was far ahead in the first color on the shawl. And the hedgehog typewriter single kept splitting, and it just didn't work. It just wasn't working. And plus in the beginning, I think you slip one and it just looked hangy. It didn't look right. I thought, okay, I can't do this. I can't work on this. So I went back to my stash, my own little yarn store, and found another skein that isn't exactly what I wanted for color, but then I thought, well, it's gonna blend really well though. And there was that color in the, it's a 3-color shawl. You can, and it's faded into one another. And I thought, you know what, does it really matter? I think it's gonna look really good anyway. So I went ahead and restarted. And I chose a yarn from my friend Karen, who's the dyer behind Cortabella Yarns. I dropped something, so I'm just gonna pick it up. So I'm gonna go diving right now. So bear with me while I dive. Okay, I'm back. These project bags have a tendency to drop. So this is the colorway Po. And it's a sock yarn. And this is where I am in the shawl. So it's nice. This little funky thing also happened in the other one, but I think it'll block out fine. It's just a simple garter, yarn overs. This is the first color. Po is the first color. The second color is also a yarn ink color in one of her famous colorways. And I forgot what it was, and I don't have the tag. But I wanted something more white, like typewriter is a brighter white. But actually, this works just fine. And then the third color is one that was dyed for the Knit Stars participants exclusively from Beata Hedgehog, and it's called Picasso something. But I thought these three, yeah, will go together fine. Let's see, I think I have the tag. Now, oh no, this is called Looking Glass, this one, from Yarn Ink. And again, it's just in one of her sock bases. And then the third, this one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, she dyed it for us exclusively, and it's called Picasso. It's a painter. It's called Warhol. So that's Beata's, and that's Warhol. And yeah, these will go beautifully because a lot of blue in this one, and then this gray is much more of a neutral, and it's fine. This one is relaxing knit. It's going to be beautiful. I'll eventually get there. There's no deadline, but that shawl number, I don't even want to say. It's just one of those shawls. It's yet another shawl. It's crazy. What's wrong with me? You know what it is? I just want to cast on everything. That's what it is. And this is the pattern. You can see that. It's pretty. And it's just called Free or Fade. So no brioche in it, it's just simple, double yarn overs and garter and slip ones, and it's perfect. But what is that? That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm stopping now. I'm not going to show you anything else, but I know there are 2 or 3 more in the closet. So let's just say 3 more in the closet. That closet right there. So that would be 8. Finish a shawl, woman. Finish it. So I think it's going to be dyed red because I think Teresa was sick of looking at all my works in progress and nothing's getting done. Things are getting done. They're just taking a very long time. Unnecessarily so, because I'm not focused. So we are forcing Rena to be focused on one of these. I like the variety. What can I say? All right. Shall we talk about what's been acquired since? Well, I can't show you everything because it's just, I'll just give you the highlights. Also, I wanted to tell you about, you know, I've talked about my friend Martha down at the beach. Hi, Martha. I love her. She has invested in a sock machine. So we're going to the beach in early May, and I'm going to bring, she said, bring lots of sock yarn. Well, it's trial and error. We'll figure it out. So I'm rooting around. I'm like, what can I bring? What can I bring? And I found something that I had gotten from Eat Knit Dye. It's so great. So fun. I may have shown this to you before. I don't know, because it's been a while. One of these dug out of my stash things. And now I'm having trouble getting the bag open. It's like, yeah, okay. Fun. Comes a little mini. Look at fun. And I have some Felici. So I'm going to bring some Felici. I'm going to bring this. This will be fun. I think it just makes a tube and you have to put in the heel, cuff, and toes. Is that right? I don't know, but I'm going to try it. She said it's a little challenging, but I'm bringing a bunch of stuff to try. And, you know, because I have to keep up with my own sock knit along, year-long sock knit along. Speaking of which, I had a winner. I'm giving away yarn quarterly, like a skein of indie dyed sock yarn every quarter to the participants in the knit along. Go to the Slow Knitter podcast group on Ravelry, and you'll see a sock knit along. It says beginner sock knitting knit along, but you could be any kind of sock knitter. Just post it, and I'll do a random number generator every 3 months, and you can win. I have pretty nice indie dyed sock yarn from like Dragon Horde yarn, and some nice sock yarn. But the first one who won is Carrie. Hi Carrie, who's Kinnick Chick on Ravelry. I hope I'm saying that right. So she'll be getting a skein of indie dyed yarn, and then I also throw in some other goodies. You never know what I'm going to throw in. I collect stuff to throw in to my giveaways. Also, I am running a hat knit along, and I want to tell you what prompted me to run this hat knit along. First of all, who has been knitting all the hats that she can possibly, for a slow knitter, knit? Me. I have a winter full of hats, and 3 of them were Helen Stewart's Curious Homemade patterns from her Knit Vent. 2015 was one, 2017. She's a beautiful hat. I knit 2 of those. And so Cheryl from Hypnotic Yarns, I love her stuff. I love her yarns. Have I worked with them yet? No. True confessions, no. But the colors are just, it's one of those things I just want to display because they're so beautiful. However, she did offer me one of her patterns, the Taradiddle hat pattern, as a giveaway to one of you. So join in my hat knit along. Just hop right over to the Slow Knitter podcast Ravelry group. Post a hat. I'm going to do it the same way I'm doing the sock every quarter. I'm just going to give away a skein of DK or worsted weight yarn for you to make hats. If you'd like fingering, just, you know, let me know. I did, I'm going to unbox. I did order, I got the pattern. She gifted me the pattern, and she's gifting one of you the pattern. But I did feel compelled, and I'm not sorry about it at all, to buy one of her yarns to make the Taradiddle hat with, which I'm going to do. Come on. Come on. There's her label. Seriously. Could you see this in the hat? There it is. There's my hat. Yeah. Thank you, Cheryl. No, I bought this because I thought, oh, I've got to make that pattern. It's beautiful. So, and I'll slip in a picture of what that is. And this skein is called Spellbinoing. Anything that is mesmerizing or spellbinoing. No, it's Wish Upon a Star is the name. But there's something written there that says anything that is spellbinding or mesmerizing. And it's DK. It's a light DK, which is my preference actually. Oh my God, it's so soft. Yeah, it's a superwash merino, 100% superwash merino, and this is about 231 yards, typical DK weight. But look at this. Seriously, a hat. It would be perfect for a hat. But yeah, I love it. So I'm gonna make it. This is gonna be mine. And then she does this really wonderful thing with her yarn is she includes a pom-pom. I have to fluff it out, she says. Fluff it out. So I'm excited about casting this on. And this may be, I feel like I need a small project and a large project. God knows I have a lot of large projects. ShawlsHank something. And I usually do a sock or a hat. So I think I'm going to do the Tarradale hat with this yarn. A while ago, she had another yarn for the Charlotte cap, and I will stick in a photo of that, what that looks like. And I did get, no, hypnotic is anything that is mesmerizing or spellbinding. I'm so slow. But I did get, this is so pretty. Yes, I have to download the pattern. This colorway also sort of, oh, this is a worsted though. So this is a thicker. I have trouble sometimes with worsted because it's heavy, but I'm gonna try it. It's called Porch Swing. I may have shown this to you before, not sure, but I do love it. Look at the colors in there, oh my God. Anyway, this is gonna be the Charlotte cap. I might use this as a giveaway for my hat knit along. So jump in, people, jump in. And there's also comes with a cute pom-pom in a darker color, which is sort of neat. It would go really well with this yarn, don't you think? For the Charlotte cap. Any cap you want to cast on, really. But this one was, the yarn was designed with the Charlotte cap in mind. And here is the pattern. I have it. Here's the pattern. It's pretty. Yeah, that would be pretty in this, don't you think? Yeah, I might do. No, this is a giveaway. Not the pattern, but the yarn and the pom-pom. It's part of the giveaway for the hat knit along. Jump in, people. I'm also going to reach out to Tristan from Dragon Horde Yarn because she has been designing some killer hats. I don't know if you've seen it, but she's really been, they're pretty nice. All right. Hey. I won something. I know, hard to believe. I never win anything. I won something. I'd like to share with you. I won something from the Mina Phillips New York Sock Club. I was a random number that Mina selected. I never won anything before, but I wanted to share with you what I won. There was a time, I think, when she was living in Bahrain, or was it Dubai? One of those countries in the Middle East, where she was making project bags. Not only was she, I think she's like exceptional. I think she's like genius level designer, knitter. Fast. And anyway, she sent me one of the project bags that she made when it was back then. Very, very cute. Perfect for a sock project bag. And it's when she had the tag Mina Makes or something. Yeah. Very cute. And then she threw in sock yarn. I'm going to bring this also down to the beach when I, oh, and look, there's a little notions patch in it. I I figured out how I'm going to use my Notions pouches. I have no idea what this yarn is. It's sort of not my style, but hey, it's somebody's going to get some socks out of some crazy socks out of this. This looks like a lot. It's about 420 yards. I think it's the way it's twisted, but it's a lot of halo on it. But I'm going to make some socks out of this using Martha's sock machine. Martha, you don't know that yet, but we're going to be making socks. But yeah, that was my win. How nice is that? I've never won anything. That was pretty special. Yes, I did. I did win some things, but nothing like this. So that was very special, particularly from Mina. Thank you, Mina. I did also, I was lurking. I find now that when I lurk, I have to just go for it. Just lurk for a little while, stand away, watch, check back again. If you still love it, then get it. And I did love this, and I'm glad I got it. This is from my friend Mars, who is Hey Brown Berry on Instagram, on YouTube. She and her daughter have a yarn dyeing company called Dynamix, and Adachi and Mars, Adachi is her daughter, one of her daughters, have been dyeing a lot of using natural elements, not using acid dyes, which is really, really good. And this is called Raw Honey, and it's a great neutral for anything I will be working on. Plus, I just love the, it looks like honey. It does look like honey. I don't know what you used to do this with, Mars, but I do love it. And I have, and there's her label. It's such a cute label. I have been lurking. I've been looking at, you know what else she sent me? Every time I open this bag, I smell it. She's a big coffee drinker. Coffee! I'm so happy. Thank you, Mars. God, it smells so good. So I'm gonna have a virtual cup of coffee and knit with Mars and Adachi's yarn, because it just, Adachi, thank you. Mars, thank you. Means a lot to me, particularly when I love you both so much. I mean, I know Mars, but I don't know Adachi, but I do, because she looks to be such a great kid. All right, couple more things, then I'll do a little chat, and we can go. Let me go get them. Be right back. Okay, I do love a good sock blank. I just do. And I haven't knit on a sock blank in a long time, but I'm really anxious to get started. I have a beautiful one from Gail's Arts, who I love her work, but I did see this, and I thought, oh, I have to have that. So it is from Joy Ants, who's Valerie Ng, and she's in Amsterdam. I don't know if you can see that. See her card. Joy Ants. Anyway, I'll unpack it because I saw this. I did a little jig. Nobody understands my jigs but me, but that's okay. Look how beautiful the sock blanket is. I might have to. It's got sweaters on it. Look at this. And you probably have seen this before, but oh my God, how perfect is this? I do enjoy knitting it. Now, I do knit tandem. I think this is gonna have to be a one at a time because I don't know how to split the sock blanket. I don't want to do that. So, again, seriously, look at this. The colors are great. I love these colors. Joy Ants from Amsterdam. Valerie Ng is the name of the dyer, and Joy Ants is the name of her company. Got a little stitch marker, a little progress stitch marker keeper thingy as well, and a nice little thank you note. So yeah, so I'm excited about working on that. But a very, very, very kind thing happened to me. And I just... Slow knitter. Is this the best thing ever? I'm so happy with it. I thought it was going to be too small, but they're not too small. They're perfect. And I will tell you in a second who did it because it just fell out of my head. Gone. Boom. Gone. Wait, I'm queuing up Instagram because that's the only way I'll be able to tell you who did it. She's been doing a lot of them for a lot of us podcasters, and I so appreciate it. She's so wonderful. I mean, she's just pretty wonderful. And oh yeah, Knitting Left. Knitting Left. Go to her website, go to her Etsy shop, Knitting Left. Look, she took my logo and made it into a thing. And then asked me if I wanted sheep or what I wanted. I wanted sheep. I mean, she cuts out these things. You have to be pretty talented to do that, don't you think? I do. Anyway. So, Knitting Left. Thank you so much, Marsha. Knitting Left. Look at these kids. Then I thought I got them too small, but I apparently did not. Because I tried my sock on there. It was perfect. Oh, and then one last thing. I did order a book from Quince & Co. Pam Allen. I love her work. It's so simple. It's so elegant. It's... okay. Fangirling for a minute. Did you see this book? Plain and Simple. It has... there are about 3 or 4 patterns in here that I really, really want to do. They're simple, they're straightforward. I love this one in particular. Nope, not this one. I'm trying to get you a better picture of it. It's called, what is the pattern called? The pattern is called Larch, L-A-R-C-H. Can you see it? Doesn't that look so pretty? I don't know when I'll ever get to this, but there's so many beautiful patterns. They're just plain and simple and gorgeous in here. Some of it is color work. Like, look at this. I mean, it's just so plain and simple and direct and easy. Using their yarns, of course. And like for these big sweaters, you'd like do thin arms so they don't look like, it's just so thoughtfully designed. And I've done some Pam Allen work. Look at this thing. I love this one thing that's just kooky. I don't know if I would ever, yeah, here's Larch. Here's that one that I'm telling you about. Oh, perfect. But I haven't done a pattern in such a long time. I don't know if I would like it, but hopefully I would. But there's one cowl in here that's just cray-cray pretty, and I don't know that I would ever do it because it's sort of like a cowl hood, a hooded cowl. You can see how you do that for somebody that wants that kind of a style. I don't know. I did this. Caitlin Hunter. There's about 17 projects I want to do. Oh, Caitlin Hunters, but I'm not going to do it. I did buy a whole bunch of Cascade 220, which I've never knit with. Their Heathered line, to do Indigo Frost, which is a turtleneck poncho. And it's got color work. It's got sort of color work around the yoke. Yeah, I could probably, and it's not stranded color work. I don't think it's stranded. I think it's just use that, and then use that, then use that, but not stranded. It's pretty nice. So I don't want to lose this. There's so much chatter, but I won't bore you to tears. We went to the beach in February, this last time podcast, and I did Briny from here in March. This one is more my normal podcast type. The house is still on the market. We're still fixing up things. Today we had the roofers here to replace some shingles that had gotten stained. It looks so much better. The doggies are fine. The weather's been kooky. Just like everywhere, the weather has been crazy. Freezing cold for 2 days, then blazing warm for 2 days. It's springtime, and Atlanta is gorgeous in the spring. I remember driving home from the office one day thinking, I feel like I'm driving through botanical gardens. If you've ever seen the Augusta golf tournament on television with all the, they very proud of all their azaleas, Atlanta's like that. Atlanta is azalea crazy. Everybody's got azaleas or blooming cherry or pear trees or hydrangea. Well, it's early for hydrangeas, but everything blooms at one time. Anybody that has an allergy just suffers terribly. I don't, fortunately, have any allergies, so I don't have to worry about that. But everything's blooming at one time. There's just pollen everywhere. If your car is parked outside, you better have a hose. But it's beautiful here this time of year, and it's been enough warmth that everything's popping out. But for the next 4 or 5 days, it's going to be a high in the 50s. We're in the 70s today. It's where it should be. We should actually be, yeah, low 70s is about this time of year. We're going to go back to the beach in May. We have just lots of appointments and stuff going on, so do that. I know there's more to tell you, but that's, I think, about it. Just lots of shawls. I'm not complaining. I'm just, I think Teresa's forcing me to prioritize by saying we're going to do 2 projects by end of May. And I'll hopefully be cruising on dotted race because, I've come a long way. And so, well, for me, not really. One of my international virtual knit night friends, Aileen, who's from Scotland, I think she did it in like 4 days. No, probably a week. No, not gonna happen. I know there's more to tell you. I just can't remember. But that's a lot of stuff. And I'm trying to find a couple projects for yarns. I'm dying to use it. I've been collecting that I've been gathering. Like Kim from Barnyard Knits. I think I found a real beautiful complement to one of her sock yarns that I'm going to put in a shawl. It's an MCN. And the colors with her, but we'll see, because I'm not going to, would it be a shawl? I need to not cast on any more shawls. Oh, and at the end of this month, it's April, right? I'm going to that Ann Bud Knit for Fun retreat. And Hoey's going to be there, Megan Fernandez, some other people. I'm taking a few classes. Bob is coming with me. My cousin, Karen, and her husband, cousin Bill, are going to be down in Savannah at the same time so they can keep Bob occupied while I'm in class. Perfect. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm really excited about that. Although I don't think Bob is excited because I'm going to be in class so much. He's going to when am I going to spend any time with you? Like, I don't know. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. But Karen and Bill will be there. So at least for the first couple of nights, we can have dinner. I don't think I'll be doing dinner every night with the group. I'll probably have dinner one night with the group and then rest with Bob and my cousins. So that's fun. I've lived in Georgia for years. A long time. Since 1981. I think I've lived in Georgia longer than I lived where I was born. Anyway, so I lived in Georgia. So we drove through Savannah, and really not the nice part of Savannah, once. I've never been to Savannah. It's 4.5 hours away. My drive to the beach is longer. What's with that? I don't know. So I'm excited that I'm going to Savannah. And and that's at the end of April. They sent me my schedule. I'm all set. I'm excited about it. I really am. And I'm going to learn how to design. I switched classes. I was going to learn to do a boxy, but I don't think a boxy is for me. I'm sort of small, so anything really wide makes me look wider. I think she has a shawl design class, so I think I'm going to go to that. And then I have a couple other classes. I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. Look for. I feel like I should bring like something hoagie to knit. Like that would be like against the rules to bring anything else. No, I'm gonna bring one of these bloody projects I'm working on. Also, I think that's it. I'll be back to my regular podcasting schedule, which is every 2.5 weeks. I put a podcast out about what I'm doing and what I bought and whips and some general information. I think that's it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you again to my loyal subscribers for visiting with me again. And my sign up is I love you in sign language, because I'm fluent in sign language. So I love you all, and see you soon in a couple of weeks or so. And I will maybe have completed something, or at least move forward. Who knows? Anyway, love you all. Have a good rest of the week. It's only Tuesday. All right, see ya. Bye.